Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stletzy. Today we got for you a nice Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition caster game to go over. So this time we're looking at a nice Supremacy 1 versus 1 between the Spaniards and the Germans. Pretty good civs overall, both very strong and competitive. Before we check out the gameplay though and commentate, let's look at the geography of the map and see how it affects our gameplay. So the map we're looking at today is Deccan Plateau. This is a map, whether you started out in the Asian dynasties or DE, should be pretty familiar with. It's pretty popular and a lot of people love it for many different reasons. The big thing you notice when you look at near the town center though is say, wait a second, aren't those extra resource crates? Yeah, this map apparently gives you extra resource crates, just like Carolina does. It's pretty good in that sense, It allows you to age up quicker, maybe get some market techs you didn't want usually. At the start of the game, you can get a trading post up, which, let me remind you, on Deccan, you got the 3 trading post trade route on the land side of the plateau, and then by the riverside, you get 2 more trading posts you can work with. Yeah, and that's the last thing, the plateau. This big geographic plateau here with cliffs is a really good place to find hunts, mines, and native warriors. Also, it's pretty easy to wall off and put little gates in so you can capture it if you want to play super late game. And you can even put walls up from the sides of the cliffs, even to protect your flank, especially on the riverside here, it's really good. So, let's see how they do on this map. It's one of my personal favorites. Let's begin. Alright, so the Spaniards. Spanish in 1 versus 1, they can do a bunch of different things. Either they go super duper aggro with their barracks, or they go for the famous fast fortress strategy, because they get some pretty strong fast fortress options. They get some lancer shipments, which is great against infantry, the 2 Falconets card. They get a lot of different things. So yeah, definitely if you're looking for a good FF, Spain is the civ to go with. They also get shipments quicker as well, which is a neat little side bonus of them. But let's move on to Germany next and see what they're going to do. So Germany in 1 versus 1, they got a couple of nice perks. One of their biggest perks you might remember is the fact that they get free Yuans with their shipments. Or that is the H2 and shipments below. It looks like because of all the starting crates you get on this map, both players have decided to opt for a trading post. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Spain didn't go for 2 trading posts, because in a normal matchup, Spain usually goes for 1 trading post. So yeah, I see the Explorer approaching site number 2 over here. Are they going to put another one down? Yep. How much wood do they got? Yeah, they're just about getting enough wood to get that second one if they want it. And let's check out their deck as well to see what they're plotting here against the Germans. Samurai. Why is it called Samurai? Is it because you got these roderos with their swords and shields, like samurai? Well, maybe not necessarily, but one thing that is interesting is we can tell right away that this is a fast fortress deck for Spain. How can we tell? Well, namely, you got a strong presence of Age 3 cards here, most of the essential ones being the Lancer, the Falc, and the Haciendas one here, the Viceroyalty of New Spain. So really you get a wide variety of Age 3 units. Also, the other sign is the fact that you got the Royal Decree in Age 2. And why is that considered FF material? Because once you reach Age 3, you can send a nice battalion of halberdiers from that church from it, and those things are really a good power play, I would say. Good against cav, good against infantry. Halberdiers, for all it's worth, they can fulfill multiple roles because of their high overall base attack. They're not as limited as the pikemen are in any way, really. Unless they're outnumbered, of course, so you kite them. And it looks like Spain is going with the greedy 3 settler capitalism play. Start out with the 3 villagers, followed by the gold trickles, so they can put that right towards their fortress age ambitions. It's pretty powerful overall. Definitely is. And for the opponent here, we got the Germans. Let's see what they're doing deck-wise. So, we do see a couple of possibilities here. I do see a bit of a emphasis on mercenaries, but not as extreme as some of the Kaiski-Tushki decks we're used to. Yeah, we've seen some pretty extreme mercenary strats from Kaiski before. What I see here that sticks out is Mercenary is the improved Mercenaries card here, as well as Silversmith that boosts up the mining. Also the Jaeger and the Black Rider shipment, which are really popular, and then of course the Holy Roman Army in Age 4, should you get that far. However, you do have some non-mercenary options, namely Skirm and War Wagon shipment, a lot of cavalry combat cards too. So I'm kind of curious what they're going to go for here. Is it going to be Mercs? Is it going to be standard units? Or is it going to be a combination of the two? And we still see the Spanish explorer gathering treasures and probably deciding, hey, am I going to go for trading post number 3 and 4 over here, since there isn't a lot of German presence on this side of the map yet. Totally possible. And that would give them a lot of quick, easy shipments, honestly. So now we see the construction of the church by Spain. You know, the good old Spanish Inquisition. Basically, once that church goes up, they're going to be able to use that in Age 3 to get that nice halberdier batch out with the Royal Decree technology. That's going to be really powerful. They also get a nice trade-off card, too, that gives heavy infantry more hit points at the cost of their movement speed. And honestly, I prefer to have them higher amount of hit points instead of the speed myself, because heavy infantry, they're supposed to basically be tanks against cav, right? Like, you got a bunch of skirms and artillery that need protecting. Those heavy infantry are supposed to be the muscle of that infantry force that can beat off all those horses charging at them. So, I think the Royal Decree, I think it's called Corset or Corselet or something. Yeah, it's basically the breastplate. Yeah, it's really powerful. So yeah, we can definitely tell this is FF. We got the 4 villagers coming in, it looks like. The 5 villagers have already been sent out because of how crazy quick Spain gets shipments, especially with 2 trading posts down already. So yeah, they're really racking up the villagers right now. And they're also going to age up with the Sergeant of Arms, which is going to grant them some military units as well in that initial pushing force. And what's Germany going to do? Yeah, Germany I can imagine is going to go FF as well. The deck is definitely accustomed to FF strategies, whether they go mercenaries or more the war wagon skirmisher route. It's really up to them. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure too at this point, Germany is well aware that Spain loves to go FF, especially with that deck, so if they don't meet them in the same age, they're going to get overpowered really quickly, you know. When I was first starting out DE, I really didn't know how to deal with Spanish FFs that much, and they used to always catch me off guard, but as I got a bit quicker and I learned to counter them a bit, you learn very quickly that you either need to go really tough in Age 2 and just wipe them out, or you need to go Age 3 and so you can match with your own shipments. And at the same time as Germany, you can cause a bit of harassment here with these Ulans, which is going to be nice. Yeah, let's see if they can actually maybe take down a settler or two. That'd be a pretty nice little side bonus here. They seem to be standing idle right now. Can the enemy see that by any chance? Now they can, so it's still a surprise if they do strike. Yep, here comes the Royal Decree to claim the New World. This will grant them the Corselet, the Halberdiers, and I believe a group of the Irish mercenaries, the Irish Brigadiers. Yeah, it used to be the Hackables in the Legacy game, but they changed it to the Irish Mercenaries because what was it called in Legacy, if you remember? It was called the Wild Geese, and the Wild Geese were actually a Irish mercenary. Ones you can actually see in Wars of Liberty as part of the immigrant units, or what used to be an immigrant unit. I don't think we're going to really see them again in Wars of Liberty until the Irish Civ comes out with the Anglophony rework, but overall it was a strong, tough cavalry unit, so hopefully we see it again. Getting back to the fight at play, though, we see the Sergeant of Arms battalion of pikemen skirmishing a bit with the Uhlans. Looks like Kaishki has opted to go regular units now. So we got some war wagons, as well as all those free Uhlans shipping up and grouping up from all those cards we get from Germany. Now we're going to see, what's this, 1K wood. So it looks like maybe Kaishki is going to get ready to do some production buildings. Yeah, you should be able to put some barracks and stables down with that, as well as some houses, as well as any market technologies he hasn't already produced yet. Yep, we also see Germany has their own rail decree available as well, which is nice. And their church waiting on standby for that, so... yeah, a little bit of rail decree from both players here. And I'm really curious to see how Spain is going to start this off. So it looks like Spain has decided to construct a barracks, and they're going to be using all their resources to train skirms, which really helpful against war wagons. That's a pretty good idea, honestly. And they're probably going to support that with falconets, lancers. You could even hypothetically support them with these haciendas by producing the soldados, which is one of the production options for Spain from that building. Oh, they're going to go with the roderos. They're going for the anti-cav. Yeah, they're really targeting the cavalry attack of these units pretty fiercely with them, so we'll see how that goes. You know, honestly, I would have rather gone Falks, personally, because you never know if they could switch up the skirms at all from their shipments, or that they're going to ship Jaegers. You always want to have a back pocket option to deal with infantry when you're doing a Spanish FF against Germany, honestly. Yes, the infamous FI of Kaishki Tushki, you know. You gotta be careful with them, you know. Sometimes it looks like he's gonna be going H3, but then he ends up going H4 instead, with something we call an FI, Fast Industrial. And he's gonna be going with the Engineer, which is actually gonna mirror the shipment that Spain gets. He's gonna get 2 Falconets from that age up. So if Spain ends up shipping those in, they're gonna be on an even playing field. Army-wise, which is pretty neat about that age-up option. Looks like right now he's... it looks like he was trying to fish him in, like, come get me, come get me. But they ended up backing off. Now they got the Hussars shipping in, the 5 Hussars shipping in Spain. Here comes those Halberdiers, the Royal Halberdiers Royal Decree. Comes the Army of the Halbs. These are one of the power play units of the Spanish FF. Notice how they got guard stats. Gives them a nice whopping 36 hand attack. That is a really powerful stat to have. And we're going to see in real time, yep, here comes those Waugees, the Irish Brigadiers. Here they come. So yeah, we got a lot of infantry in this mix. I wonder if those Falconets from Germany are going to clean that up at all. I'm curious. I'm really curious about that. My guess is maybe, maybe not. It depends on how well Spain micros this, though. We do see the Falconets. They're going to take good advantage of this choke point between the stable and the house. It's going to make it hard for this mainly melee unit army to get in. So the first thing that Spain does, they stop and try to siege the artillery foundry. Probably scared that Kaishki was going to train something, but before you worry about that, worry about the things actually shooting at you right now. Because these cannons are the only way that Kaishki takes this army out, honestly. If you can reach him with the Halberdiers, you're all set. These things deal as much hand damage to artillery as Hussars practically, so definitely close in the gap with them. Unfortunately, no. He just resigned. At that point, yeah, he wasn't coming back. You're dealing with 2 Falconets here, and then you got the 2 heavy cannons from the home city combined with that. No way you're being that Spain with, what, under 1k resources? Nah. Best thing you can hope for is, yeah, send some cav in, send the Falcons in. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. You also don't have a stable developed either. So, yeah, that's very complex. Let's check the post game though and figure out what's going on here. Yeah, Kaishki got some pretty good resources overall because of the settler wagons. Remember, they gather at the rate of 2 villagers because of their 2 population. Yeah, quite a powerful unit. And military-wise, look at how much damage you can do with artillery when you manage it really well. 29 kills versus 64. Yeah, this is why, like, when we play Arena, cannons can be a very powerful play. Whether it's falconets, heavy cannons, rockets, any cannon. Some have to be played a little bit different, mind you, but in general, they are power units as long as you can protect them. So definitely protect your cannons. Hopefully you enjoyed that little demonstration of an FI countering an FF. I think it was a really nice example for you to see of how an FI can really crush an FF. And also a good demonstration of the can as well. Map I really like. But anyways, see you on the next cast of game we do. If you got any cast of games for me, definitely send them my way though. I'm always willing to look at your stuff, you know. Always see new perspectives and strategies. Signing off now from this one. See you in the next one.